Hi everyone, and welcome to Kaiserpunk demo. This is a pretty interesting upcoming game, but before I get into it any further, just a quick disclosure, this is a sponsored video, just so you know. Anyway, Kaiserpunk is actually a game I had on my list of interesting upcoming games for a while now, and now the demo is part of the Steam Next Fest in June. So you can play this yourself right now. The Steam Next Fest started on June the 3rd. And you can play the demo before the next fest ends. So this game is actually a fusion of a city builder and the grand strategy, which sounds pretty interesting in itself, but it also has a very interesting setting. It's an alternative 20th century world, set after World War I and World War II. There's also combat. You can fight by land, sea and air. You can alter history with various choices you make, and more. So, let's just jump straight into it, shall we? I haven't actually had the chance to play yet, so this should be interesting. Random map, predefined map, generate map. Well, we can't generate map, and we can't use random map, so we'll use predefined. There's a tutorial. Alright, we can check out the tutorial, that's fine. Choose your heritage. Faster construction and repair of region upgrades. Okay, actually, let's go for industrial powerhouse. Why not? We can pick our city name. Let's name it Marbograd. There we go. We are going to be Marbograd. Alright, sounds good to me. I mean, I can just set my name to Marbs. Works for me. Alright, the difficulty. Very easy, normal, hard, impossible. Alright, let's just keep it on normal. That sounds good to me. I don't think I'm going to touch anything else here. Victory conditions, territorial conquest, faction conquest, scientific and diplomatic. Is this Civ? AI difficulty? Can't change that. Okay, I can't actually change any of these right here. Alright, that's fine. Let's go. And you know, this game actually has quite a few things going for it. Or at least it sounds like it. There's diplomacy. You can ally yourself with neighboring regions, trade with them, join them on your quest for global conquest.
In the early 20th century, the world was consumed by the flames of an unending conflict. The Great War, which was expected to draw to a close, instead spiraled into an abyss of perpetual warfare. The hopes for peace and restoration shattered as the envoys of the Versailles Peace Treaty were brutally assassinated, plunging the world into further chaos. As the years rolled on, the global stage transformed into a battleground where nations fought relentlessly, their war machines fueled by unquenchable thirst for power and dominance. Monarchies and empires, once pillars of strength, crumbled under the weight of constant warfare and the shifting tides of history.
Anyway, as I was saying...
A battalion of battle-weary soldiers, having deserted the relentless conflict, returned to their once familiar land, only to discover a haunting sight, a desolate wasteland of ruins. Amidst the crumbling remains of a nation, they encounter the lingering echoes of war, grappling with the ghosts of their past and the harsh realities of a world forever changed. Undeterred, they rally together, fueled by a resilient spirit to rebuild not just their lives, but also their shattered nation.
Okay, so as I was saying, this city has diplomacy. You can ally yourself with your neighboring regions. You can trade with them, you can join them on global conquest. Apparently there are over 100 regions you can take. There's combat by land, sea and air. There's obviously a lot of resource management, since this is the city builder after all. And you can change history with your choices. And probably more. And obviously there are things like trade. Okay, that was a bit loud. Every journey starts with a single step. It's not much, but it's a start. The battalion has expelled the violent brigands from the local church and established headquarters. Alright? It's a rather bleak world, at least in the beginning, but we're certain you'll turn it around, especially with the help of the diligent citizens of your city-state. Now that you've taken over the local church and set it up as your base of operations, let's take a few minutes to become familiar with the interface. Okay, sounds good. It's difficult to do something with nothing. True, but we can use the ruins to our advantage. If we send our boys to clear the rubble, we'll salvage some resources and make some room while we're at it. 2 birds, 1 stone. I suggest we start with the town square. Alright, so move the camera with the W, S, A, and D. Rotate the camera, zoom in and out, so standard stuff. And interact with objects. Alright, the zooming isn't like super smooth, but that's fine. Okay, so let's see. It's difficult to do, yeah, we know. Salvaging. You'll encounter many reminders of the devastation, and the most of these can be salvaged for useful resources. Once repaired, you're able to move them around like any other building. Okay, so salvage or repair. Okay. Yeah, I think we get it by now. Alright. Clear the village. Within several weeks, almost half of the ruined village was cleared, yielding a trove of valuable resources, and the land cleared of obstacles for further construction. Meanwhile, battalion members will take on the task of scouting the area and vigilance against would-be enemies to ensure the safety of the fledgling community. Alright, so a bunch of resources. Here, plywood, bricks, concrete, and glass, also water, electricity. Here we can toggle the speed. We got the morale. Okay, specialists. Technicians. Required tier 3 housing and higher education. Manufacturers. Required tier 2 housing. Laborers, tier 1 housing. Cash. And that's the name of our city. Okay. Job's done. Some civilians who were hiding the ruins joined us too. We should consider providing some housing, or our people will start falling ill. 2 small blocks should kick things off in the right direction. Constructing buildings. The main way to expand your capital, yeah, obviously. Increase production of resources and in general become a stronger power. The default view shows building categories at the bottom of the screen, right here. Choose a category and then a specific building in that category. Then simply place the building where you wish. Alright then, so build 2 laborer houses. Development threshold reached. You have made significant progress in the development branch and have unlocked new possibilities. Well, considering I haven't actually done anything, that's nice. Cotton field, cotton. Okay, so here's the laborer house. Do we need like roads? Or do they build themselves? Good question. Okay, that's like the entrance. Rotate the building, R. Okay. With a sigh of relief and joy, members of the battalion and some of the local civilians who joined you welcomed the completion of the first houses. Many more will be needed sooner rather than later, but it's a welcome sight nonetheless, plus 20 laborers. The first houses have been built. They're not the best, but they'll do. At least they're dry and warm, which can't be said for the pathways. The smart choice is to clear out some of roads. Nothing fancy. Okay, a simple clear dirt road will do for now. At least it will prevent some injuries. Roads and transportation. All buildings in the capital must be linked at least to the town center, while some, like production buildings, have additional prerequisites to function properly. Buildings can have multiple entrances, and they are all clearly marked. Only a single entrance must be connected to the wider road network. Okay, yep, so we don't need roads. As expected. Dirt road. Can we actually rotate this building after the fact? I assume we can, maybe not. Any tooltip here? Okay, I mean, maybe we can, but perhaps that's going to be later. We can obviously demolish it. It will refund the 10 plywood. Okay, and does it cost 10 or does it cost more? Okay, so it refunds half of it. Okay, good to know. So I guess we need that road now. So there the road. Connect it. There you go. There, connect all. Your new capital may be emerging from war and destruction, but that is no excuse for chaos. A good road network connecting every nook and cranny will ensure the township evolves properly and in order. And now that you have the first pioneers living in your capital, it's time for the new battalion to step down. From now on, salvage or repairs will have to be handled by your citizens. Okay. This is a hell of a start, but we won't be able to feed everyone by scavenging for moldy bread and rotten vegetables. We're barely scraping by for food, and more refugees appear every day. We have to start producing some food, or our small community won't last long. The good side is that most of the battalion is from countryside. Okay, I didn't click anything, and I didn't finish reading that, but alright. The basic form of production is employed by buildings that require no input resources. These are your farms, mines, and similar buildings. Each production cycle, which lasts for 12 in-game hours, the buildings will produce a specific quantity of the product they manufacture. Right? Makes sense? So, cotton field, grain field, farm. Alright, the farm is fairly big. We can have it somewhere nearby. We can rotate it, like so. Okay. I mean, I don't think it matters that much right now, so let's just pop it over here. Connect it with the road. There you go. A humble vegetable farm will become the cornerstone of the future of your entire nation, providing your people with the most basic of needs. It's a good start, but you're not there yet. The goods need not only... Okay, well... Again, I didn't click anything. You have made significant progress in a development branch and have unlocked new possibilities, okay? Right, yeah, this is what we were reading. They must also flow. It is time to set up the lifeblood of your up-and-coming capital. Okay, building is not working properly. Yeah, we'll need a depot. I assume that's going to be the next step. Yep, it is. To take care of the logistics. All goods that are produced in your capital must be transported between buildings. Usually this means the goods are transported to and from depots, which is why all production buildings require a direct road link to a nearby place depot. Depots automatically dispatch transporters to handle transport tasks. Okay, so we'll build it nearby, probably just right next to it. There you go. Well, since the resources have to be moved, I assume the closer the better, because, you know, that's just logical. Not quite what I was going for, but it'll do. The depot, more than likely, is the first of many. It has dispatched its transporters. With good organization and a touch of luck, this is just the start of a future bustling economy. Governor, what we've accomplished here in mere weeks is astonishing. Really? What have we accomplished, really? But if this township is to grow strong, we'll need more manpower. A larger workforce to handle all the production needed. Our scouts have reported finding more locals hiding among the ruins. Okay, come on, man. That's a little bit weird that the game won't let you finish reading. Almost everything in their capital requires workers to function properly. And on top of that, you need recruits to train army units. Both workers and the recruits come from the same pool. Immigration is the main way to get people in your capital. Immigrants arrive from the outside, meaning from the other regions of the world, although the initial interest already exists within your capital region. The higher the immigration interest, the quicker immigration pool will rise, which only helps you to achieve your goals. Additional people can be found by exploring the local ruins and resolving stories. To settle immigrants in your capital, simply place appropriate housing for them, class-wise. Okay, so build 2 more laborer houses. Let's do that real quick. There's a lot more stuff later, as far as I can tell. Connect them with a road. There you go. With a small village beginning to take shape, your scouts are reporting new eyes shifting in your direction. Locals hiding from brigands are starting to notice your progress. You cannot be sure they are to be trusted. but you also cannot afford to be picky. Alright? Salvaging for materials can only get us so far. We cannot rely on scavenge parties to stumble on the construction materials. We must produce these on our own. I suggest setting up production of plywood. Alright, one of the most basic production chains is the production of plywood. Wood produced by a forester is taken into a lumber yard where it is processed into plywood. If you place these two buildings close to each other, small trucks will transport the resources directly, which is a great way to optimize goods transportation in your city. Okay, so forester and lumber yard. Makes sense. How much forest do we really have around here? Okay. Resource deposit, 25,000 copper. Right. Okay, well, let's just build it somewhere over here. Ish. Rotate. And then the lumberyard on the left side. That seems reasonable. Yep, that's much smaller, that's fine. Here you go. And the road. And one more road. There we go. Now the depot is actually a bit far away, so might be worth building another one. Self-sustaining production of plywood marks a pivotal moment in your fledgling capital. You're no longer reliant on scavenging like a nomad or an animal. It is a significant step forward, but one of many that will follow. I'm getting reports of some less than flattering words directed at you, Governor. It seems the civilians aren't pleased with their end of the bargain. It's somewhat understandable, since we're basically asking them to live off vegetables alone and not much else. We might have to look into producing at least some wheat bread to supplement their meals. Alright? Yeah, I think we need a depot here. They lack the resources. Okay. Yeah, let's just pop one here. The morale of your citizens depends on a number of factors. The fulfillment of their basic needs is just one. Each moral category carries its own significance, but failing to meet their needs is the only one that can lead to your citizens leaving your capital. Okay. Can I do what I want right now? Is this actually enough space? Okay, it is. There you go. Grain field, right. Well, might as well build it somewhere nearby. Even like over here, that seems good. There you go. The laborers seem pleased that you've heard them and responded, which is of course great, though I have my doubts that we'll have similar luck with other groups that might wander into our little town. A stable production of bread, perhaps the simplest yet so essential resource, will help us in the short term, but those are just the basics. Before long, your citizens will require and request more. Alright? Building is not working properly, insufficient workforce. I guess that's going to be next. Lookouts are reporting that a large group is on the way here. Probably bodies of the previous inhabitants. Orders? Send someone to negotiate, but keep an armed detail on the ready if things go sideways. I don't care if it's their mothers, send whoever we still have armed to cut them. I'm not letting that scum back in here. Alright, well, let's go for the first one here.
It is time for you guys to step down. You still got time. That is totally unacceptable. You don't want to start with us.
Okay. Will we actually fight now? Because this game has combat, that's a pretty major part of it. Heck, you have regions to conquest, over 100 of them. Okay. That's a thing. Yeah, I think I can skip this. We get the idea, alright? We do. Okay, let's skip that. With a violent clash, followed by the downing of the river bridge, the brigands have shown their intentions. They are less than pleased with you taking over territory they deemed theirs, and will stop at nothing to take it back. Your staunch resolve stopped them for now, but you can surely expect their attacks to continue. Yep. -10 laborers. They've retreated, for now at least, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they try again. Our guys can't follow them because of the bridge, which gives that scum more time to recover. Whatever it may be, without some proper security, we're sitting ducks. We gotta get a military base up and running. Alright, check out the nearby ruined factory. Okay then. Okay, damaged factory. And then what? Can't work on this yet. Okay, we need 9 manufacturers, which obviously we don't have. Okay. Yeah, minus 50 laborers. So, tier 2 housing. As you well know, Governor, training and keeping a standing army takes a lot of resources. Thankfully, I might have a solution. There's a factory in the region. It's in ruins, but I'm certain we'll find a lot what we need there. Sounds good? But I'm guessing such a treasure trove isn't just lying there unguarded. Okay, will we see some combat? Go on. The battalion cautiously navigates the hazardous terrain of a ruined factory, unearthing machinery and tools that had once fueled productivity. A chance encounter reveals a group of skilled workers. Okay, hold on. We can use skilled manufacturers, see if they're willing to join us. You're in the negative. Okay, let's pause. Temporarily paused on essential production. Okay, yeah, we are in the negative. Expenses, 336. Increase access to luxuries. Maintaining infrastructure like roads and bridges costs cash. Demolish what you don't need. Check the financial screen for a more detailed budget. Build tax offices. Well, I assume we'll get to that since we're doing the tutorial, you know. So, financial. Copy mode, demolish mode, move mode. Okay. I can't actually click this. Okay, there we go, I can. Is this actually that useful? I can double click on cash. This screen does not seem that useful for me right now this second. There we go. Income expenses. Yeah, we're spending a bit too much on depots, I guess. Like one in the middle would have been better, obviously. Okay, another event. As expected, the factory storage was full. Resource-wise, we recovered for a little while. It's not sustainable in the long run, but we can train and arm at least a basic army. Do we have enough money for that? To create an army, simply build a new military base. A commanding officer, the army's general, is automatically assigned, and the army is formed. Though initially the army won't have any units, it is up to you to train individual army units that an army consists of. All of this is primarily done through the military base info panel. Okay. Sounds good. So build a military base in the military category. Yeah, military buildings. Yeah, will I actually be able to afford all that? I don't actually have 1,000. Okay, so I noticed that this transport here seems to be completely stuck right now, even though there are 2 depots relatively close. But it's just completely stuck. It hasn't moved in a pretty long time here. So it sounds like you actually need a lot of them. Like, actually a lot of them. 3 out of 4. This makes it sound like this should not be a problem. But it's clearly stuck here. Okay, I have 1,000. I just wanted to build that base to continue with the tutorial. So let's just pop it over here. I want to limit the numbers of roads that I need to build. Battalion volunteers. Brave volunteers from your disbanded battalion have come forward to form a new militia unit to serve in your first army. They know what's at stake. They also know that it's not nearly enough, but training more units demands weapons, resources, and recruits, all of which are a scarce commodity. As motivated as they are, a single unit won't stand a chance in any real combat. Training additional units is a must. The world map is now accessible. Okay, nice. Let's build this road real quick though, to actually connect the base. There you go. Okay. When you select a military base, you have a complete overview of the army calling that base their HQ. If there are any empty unit slots, Up to 8 units can be created in an army. You can queue up training of these units. Right, okay, we can move them up. Second battalion, we can deploy it. Traits. The army general must advance in rank. Here are units. Militia. Field gun. And a bunch of things that we cannot get. Supplies. Food rations, ammunition. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you need a lot of depots, or this is like just kind of bugged-ish. Yeah, maybe they are stuck because of the pay thing. Which would not surprise me too much, because, you know, that's notoriously an issue in a lot of different games. I mean, pathfinding is an issue as old as video games, more or less. You have made significant progress in the development branch, have unlocked new possibilities. So, see, they are actually just not moving at all. Yeah, they are not moving at all. I think they're stuck here. They certainly seem to be stuck to me. Like, this guy has been stuck for a long time. This guy looks stuck. Alright, so I actually ended up restarting and replaying, and now, not only most buildings are working properly, one depot is basically enough for all of this. Maybe almost enough. This one just needs some more goods delivered. Or taken out. But yeah, one depot is mostly enough. The transports are not stuck. So I don't know what caused it the first time around. Yeah, you can see it's working properly right now. And again, this is just one single depot. Anyway, I am training additional units, but I think I'm going to need more people. Okay, 96%. Maybe I don't have enough people. Okay, we should be fine then. Just need to speed things up. There, we trained 3 additional militia units. I also repaired this laborer house, but not sure if that was a good idea, since I'll need to connect it with the road. I'm just gonna demolish it. Can I? Okay, I can't click on this. Anyway, army deployment. Before you can utilize an army, you have to deploy it first. You can do this by selecting the army on the world map, or you can do it from the military base info panel. Okay. Deployment takes time. Anyway, now I assume we can demolish it. It's too far away from the roads, and the roads cost money. Alright, let's deploy the army. Where's the actual world map? Right here. Okay. Right, well, it's a proper world map, I guess. Central Europe. Upgrades. Garrison. So where do we want to deploy it again? Deploy. Okay. Central Europe. Your first army is leaving their military base, embarking on whatever task you want them on. It will take some time for the army to fully deploy, but after that they will be ready for your orders. Okay. Well, 2nd battalion, there it is. It will take some time. I suppose we will give them some time. Here, next event. I think he's going down. This guy doesn't care. He's like, yep, that's just a normal day around here. We count ourselves lucky this time. It could have ended much worse. Thankfully the depot guys put out any fires quickly, but we shouldn't rely on amateurs for that. Alright? Public safety is the most fundamental element of public services in Kaiserpunk. It deals with crime, neutral and man-made disasters, as well as widespread medical emergencies. Fire should be your primary concern, since it can erupt at any time. Usually a single fire will be the least of your worries. As such, small-scale problems have a root tendency to escalate into stories of their own. Okay? Switching production. A single production building can produce multiple resources, just not at the same time. You can switch production to a completely different product. That naturally changes the input resources as well. There is no penalty associated with this action. You're in charge, you give the orders, your citizens will comply. To change what is produced, use the 2nd tab of the info panel on any production building. If a different product can be set up, you'll be able to change it there. Okay, start producing handgun components. Okay, some of these buildings can change to something else. Like, for example, I can make pie instead, which also requires fruit. I can change the lumber yard from plywood to lumber. Lumber doesn't require as much wood. Okay, well, anyway, for handguns, we need like a whole new chain. Iron mine, coal mine, smelter to produce steel. Yep. Well, I assume that's gonna be in manufacturing. Can only be built on coal deposits. Right, I assume there's going to be one nearby. Doesn't seem to be super obvious on the map. Here's one deposit. This is as far as I can zoom out, by the way. Copper. Right, and we need iron and coal. Here's some coal. So that can go here. And the road, presumably. Dirt road will do. That's also a bit weird, but okay, it'll do, alright? It'll do. And then we need iron. Not a link to the town center. It is. Maybe it needs a little bit of time to acknowledge that. Okay, coal, iron. Here's iron. Let's build that too. And the smelter. I guess I'll need the depot somewhere in the middle. Otherwise, this will take a very long time. Electricity needed. Yeah, figured as much. Electricity is provided as a constant flow, produce electricity in power plants, distribute the electricity by building powered substations. Buildings near the substation will draw electricity from it, but remember, all of it needs to be connected by road. Additionally, keep in mind that powered substations are limited in how much electricity they can distribute. Yeah, that makes sense. Weapons like handguns or rifles are produced in factories, the same building producing food rations. The process is identical to the production of any other resource. Well, in that case, we need some electricity. There's the powered substation. So what about the actual power plant, though? Coal power plant. Cannot construct. Okay. That sounds like a problem. Alright, a military factory. So this one here. There you go. But yeah, now we need the actual electricity. And I cannot get it. Because I don't have enough development level. Oh, this, alright, okay, windmill is going to be fine. So, over here is good. We just need a little bit of electricity. Yeah, there we go. And a depot. Yeah, I figured we're going to need one. Makes sense. We can just have one here. Yep, that sounds good to me. Hopefully it's going to work properly. Insufficient workforce, right, we can get some of that as well. We can have it here. Right next to it, basically. Manufacturer house, yeah, I think we're going to need that. But I don't have enough plywood. Yes. Can we maybe salvage some of this? Not enough workforce, okay, bro. Here, let's get 2 more labor houses, or 1 at least. This is not going as quickly as I hoped. Well, we are making plywood. Oh, don't tell me they are stuck. No, they are fine. I just had the game paused. I guess I'll just have to wait to get some plywood. Which might take a little bit of time. March forward. Governor, our army has finished deploying and are awaiting further orders. If I may suggest, we should march them into the neighboring regions. They're bound to find their air base that those scum are using to attack us. Okay, so air base. Click on the world map, double click on your armies, open the dashboard. So move the camera, zoom the camera. To move an army, give any command. In fact, select the army. Okay. Available commands will be shown contextually. Commanding an army to move into a non-controlled region means attack, while the same command on a controlled region means move. Armies can only act on a discovered region. Move an army into a region, conquer it to discover all the neighboring regions. Okay, well, let's go to Eastern Europe. When the battle starts, you're first presented with the battle preparation screen. This is where you make all the critical decisions. What armies are involved in the battle, how will they attack or confront, Once they're happy with tactical decisions, press the big button on the bottom center and let the battle play out. Okay, you mean you don't control it? Your generals will heed your commands and take over. Armies will take turns slapping each other, and when all armies have done their actions, you'll be presented with the battle result screen. Okay, sounds like you don't actually have any control of that then. We're not sure where the airbase is located exactly. Our best bet, based on the observed flight, is Carpathia. Okay. Well, I'm already moving here. Can I cancel that? No. Okay, they need to actually finish moving. I can't cancel that. Advanced battle phase. Defeat. Okay. So Carpathia instead. I think I need to wait. Army in cooldown. And this is on the like max speed. Okay, well, alright. Is this working yet? Yeah, insufficient workforce. I need more manufacturers. That's what I need. And we do have enough plywood now. It's only enough for a single house, however. So that's not ideal, probably. But better than nothing. At least they will actually do something. Needs 75%. Well, yeah, they will do something, so that's good. We will start actually manufacturing handguns. Oh wait, whoops, food rations. Army rations. They're handguns, there we go. Okay. Weapons in Kaiserpunk are mass-produced good. If the Great War has taught you anything, then it is that it can never have enough weapons. True. Research and education. Research is automatic, yeah, we noticed that already, and is linked to what you're doing in your capital. Each building contributes to the progress of a development branch. Yeah. There are some specific buildings that can be used to steer development more directly. But the bulk is done passively. Okay. Set up cellulose production. So we can set the lumberyard to do that, or we can build an additional lumberyard. I mean, I'm going to need plywood, so I think we need an additional one. The army is ready. Okay, so let's go to Carpathia then. There you go. Advance. Will we actually win though? That's the question. No, we will not. I guess we'll need more troops here. Yep, we need more troops. So, more militia. Field gun. Damage versus land, damage versus naval. Training cost, 30 field guns. Well, we are actually producing handguns. So let's just get some more militia, I suppose. Yeah, plywood is actually a bit of a bottleneck for me right now. It would probably make sense to set up another forester, perhaps. Not sure how many lumberyards one forester could supply. Maybe more than one here. If this is the input, I assume it is, then we can have 2 lumberyards. Probably worth doing. Yeah, that cellulose factory can wait for now. Where was the lumberyard anyway? Right here. Under utilities. For me, that's more like energy, which I guess kind of makes sense, but yeah, it also includes things like lumberyard. I could set this one to... okay, lumber. Used in production of gramophones, handguns, recon biplanes. Okay, let's set this one to lumber, and this one to plywood. Deploying units takes a while. This is on maximum possible speed, and it takes 24 hours. That is actually quite long. Just saying. Okay, let's check out Carpathia now. I have one extra unit in here. Maybe that will be enough, who knows. This thing does not seem to have a whole lot of health left. Are we actually like doing damage progressively? It seemed like maybe we are. Anyway, I think that might actually be enough for this video. I think I've seen enough of this demo, and as mentioned earlier, the demo is part of the June Steam Next Fest. You can play it yourself right now on Steam until the Steam Next Fest is over. And I think the biggest question with this game for me is whether it can actually compete with other city builders, because there are quite a few good ones, either already out or coming very soon. There is quite a bit of competition in this space. So can it actually compete? That's probably too early to answer that question. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, I appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.